Hey folks, TechTucker here. In today's video, we are going to go through an update of the Xbox 360 collection. In terms of the games that I've added, it is some more obscure titles. I've got a fair sized pile right next to me. Again, adding some titles from series that I've always wanted to check out. Some elusive games I've just been looking for here and there that are somewhat obscure. And yeah, some more titles again that'll just beef up the collection, make it more well-rounded, and get me closer to that 500 mark. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so first game that I've recently picked up is Fist of the North Star Ken's Revenge. I think that's what it's called. Ken's Rage, sorry. Jeez, I don't even know the titles of the games that I'm purchasing now, I'm that far gone. But yeah, in terms of this game, it does look kind of interesting. It looks like just kind of hand-to-hand combat game. Of course, you know me, it's complete. I don't always go for complete with like cheaper games. I tend to not care as much these days. It's got an insert for like a bonus code there. Disc's in fair shape. I got this one yesterday actually, so yeah, just some light surface scratching. Won't see much here to be fair, but yeah, all in good shape. So on eBay, this one again can go for around £20-ish or so. This one I'd say is definitely a bit more obscure. I know there's a Ken's Rage 2. I think that one's worth a bit more than this one, about the £30 mark or so. But yeah, again, this one looked interesting. I don't really watch anime or anything like that, so this one does kind of look interesting. But yeah, I know I've got a friend who's really into Fist of the North Star as well, so hey, it could be something fun to play together at some point. Next game here, this is another obscure one that I wouldn't say it's too obscure, but you know, this just caught my eye and it looked interesting. I think it's one of the more obscure releases from this series. And it's Earth Defense Force 2025. So yes, in terms of this, I've heard this is pretty much, I'd say it's like the equivalent of Dynasty Warriors for third-person shooters. And again, this one nice and complete as well. I also picked up this one yesterday. You've got the manual there, disc's in good shape as well, and you do have the Namco slip in there as well. But yeah, the case is very clean. This feels like it was literally just taken out of the wrapper yesterday. Yeah, in terms of this one as well, again, I couldn't really find it on eBay much. It was more NTSC copies when I was looking this one up. So for £12 in complete shape, you know, they've got the next game is in the same series and was cheaper, so just to try out I could have done that. But knowing my luck in the past, Silent Hill Downpour is a prime example of this, and Splatterhouse. I still don't have those games yet, but they've started to climb. So if I find an obscure game, now is the time to buy it, I genuinely think. It's not just me saying it to hype up the 360. As you know, with the store going offline and that. Again, the colours in like this case as well, like that monster looks cool. It's bright and colourful. It caught my attention. I can't wait to give this one a try. And then yes, in the same series, on the cheaper side, I do have Earth Defense Force. I think this one's Insect Armageddon. Yeah, that's Insect Armageddon. Again, nice and complete for £3 right there. In pretty good shape overall. Again, this one feels like it could have been opened yesterday. It does have some interesting code at the bottom there. Don't know if that's from a specific chain or something like that. If anyone knows, feel free to comment, of course. But yeah, again, similar vein. I won't say too much more about this. I don't know much about Earth Defense Force. I know what one of my friends has played it on stream and such, so might ask him kind of what it's about. But from my knowledge, just kind of like a mindless third-person shooter, so it kind of sounds right on my alley, to be perfectly honest. This one is one that I've been after for some time, and I found it in really nice shape and at a really good price. Again, all these games that I'm showing you right now were pretty much bought with vouchers. There's no pretty much. Those 3 games I bought yesterday with voucher. This one I bought back in January, I think it was. January or December, I'm not 100% sure, but it was with voucher, and it's Magna Carta 2. £22. This was selling at the time on eBay for about £30 or so. That sticker's on the outside, thankfully. But yeah, nice and complete as well. Got the manual, both discs are present, and it's in good shape. This is one hefty manual, because I do want to make a video on Xbox 360 RPGs, as it's a quite, I would say it's not an elusive topic per se, but not many people have actually went and delved into it. So yeah, I'm interested to give this one a go. I hope it isn't just a standard affair. Bandai Namco's labels there, so I know they're pretty well known for their RPGs, kind of like Square Enix as well. I'd say Bandai Namco are better known for like their fighting games and you know, Square Enix RPGs and such. This is the first game I've bought that isn't from CEX vouchers. And it is London 2012. Got it for £1 in a charity shop. CEX sell it for £1.50. Again, I like the colour scheme and everything of like London 2012. The blues, the pinks. It looks nice. Yeah, if I ever fancy a go at a Olympics game, I guess this will be it, because the Mario and Sonic ones are too far-fetched from reality, so at least having something more grounded, yeah, it'll just make a nice visual change. Then one I got not long ago as well, Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. Again, this one I do want to give a bash. Believe it's backwards compatible, so it'll be best played on like Xbox One or Series X. I have Series X, so I'm golden. Yeah, again, this one's nice and complete as well. It was the YouTuber TVM kept going on about it, so I was like, you know what, I'll keep an eye for it. I do like Gearbox games typically. They're not all amazing, don't get me wrong, but I do quite like them as a publisher-developer. Next game here, The Gunstringer. This is a Kinect game that I've actually heard is good. There aren't many Kinect games that are solid. The one good thing about this is I paid £1 for it. The receipt's still in here, of course. Got the disc and manual and everything. And it did have the code for Fruit Ninja, which was shown in last week's video, I believe, or the week before. Maybe in the week before, actually. But yeah, I managed to actually redeem that code and get Fruit Ninja for free, which was £6 on the Xbox store. And not only that, the store is due to close very soon. So yes, I'm very pleased that I managed to snag that code for free. Look forward to giving the Gunstringer a try. I think it would be fun to do a 360 Kinect video one day. Because my Xbox videos tend to do well. I love the platform, I like the games on it, and unlike PlayStation, I like going for trophies and all that. With Xbox, I just fling it in, don't care, don't need to install it or anything like that. It's pretty smooth, it gives me, it's just a, yeah, very smooth experience. Then the next title here, Front Mission Evolved. I need to properly dive into this one, played it a little bit. Yeah, it seems quite nice if you like your mech games and that. The disc's not in the best shape, but it still works. I did test it out. But yeah, I've got like this manual, whatever this is. Field manual, Front Mission Evolved manual, and Square Enix members card. So yeah, I'm pretty packed this one. I'll show the disc because this one's not the best shape in the world. You can see like remnants of a perfect circle scratch. I think it just got saved, however. Can't complain about that. And then this one here is a title that I was looking for ages. I just never bit the bullet, and then one day I was like, this one I didn't actually buy a voucher. It's one of those rare instances where I used money to buy something at CEX. NBA Jam's just one that was in my eBay watch list. I had like a copy in there for ages. Again, disc's in fair shape as well. Some surface scratching on it, but nothing that'll stop it from working. Of course, it's got the manual. You know me, I'm very big into that. So I don't just buy everything and anything. I do try to limit what I'm purchasing, you know. If it's really cheap and I don't have the manual, just want to play it, so be it. But NBA Jam, one that eluded me for quite some time. I had one eBay watchlist, this, as I said, for about £5 or so. Yeah, good to have it in the collection at long last. More so, I just kind of wish I bought it a tad earlier. Next game here, Assault Horizon. Yeah, this one again, I tried Ace Combat 6, I did kinda like it. This one does have a CD for like the soundtrack or something, I believe, as well. And then the disc spinning up there, so I'll just show that manual there. It does have like a Bandai Namco insert or something behind it as well. Oh, actually, nope. It's a Make Metal Bleed DLC code of some kind. But yeah, it's got yeah, the game soundtrack there as well. So all for £1.50. I think that's a cracking price. I don't know if it maybe had like an outer sleeve to house the CD or something at one point. But for £1.50, happy to have that in the collection. As I say, tried Ace Combat 6. Something that I'd like to maybe give more time someday when I'm wanting to play like a flight kind of game. But next time I'll probably just play Star Fox or something. Yeah, next game here, EA Sports MMA. Kind of funny how THQ used to have the UFC license and now EA have the UFC license. Funnily enough, I have UFC 5 here. So yeah, just kind of funny to see. I just kind of was interested to see what the roster kind of looks like and how the gameplay holds up, because I do hear a lot more favourable things about the older like UFC type games as well. I do need to get some of the UFC titles on the 360 for definite. I think I've got a small amount of them, but I'd like to get more, because I like the WWE games, for example. So yeah, I don't really get sports games other than those types of ones though. Then this one here, again, a bit more of an obscure title, Vampire Reign. Yeah, didn't know anything about it. It's just one of those obscure games, really cheap, so I figured, manual included of course, so it just made sense to pick it up there and then. Not much to say on it really. Then Toy Story Mania, again, this is one that I've been looking for quite some time. It's also on a PS Plus. I've got the premium now, so yeah, I can play it through there if I wanted to, but Woody looks like he's seen some shit right there. But yeah, in terms of this game, I'd say it's something that I wanted. I didn't pay much for it. It was pretty cheap, and I did use voucher at the time, I remember that much. But it was just one that always eluded me. I think it is relatively uncommon. I don't think it's like a super common game, but it's not an expensive one anyways, so yeah, if you're interested, go for it, I suppose. This next game here, Tony Hawk's Project 8. I like the Tony Hawk games. I've not played much more than like the originals, to be fair, but it's just a subset that I think is fun to try and collect. There are some good ones. I still need to get like the American Wasteland games. I do have like everything in here, minus the disc because it fell out because of the broken case. But yeah, I'll need to swap out that case at some point. This game is relatively inexpensive anyway, so if there's a game that needs a case like this, you know, so be it. I'll figure something out. Then this next game right here, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year Edition. I did get this at like a cash generators for like £4. It was pretty cheap. I don't think it used to always be like a £10 game. It's got like the map and everything, manual and such as well. So it was really clean, and both discs are of course present. So yeah, this one used to always go for about £10 or so. I think it has dropped in recent times, but yeah, it's just good to have the complete version on disc, because that can never be taken away from you. Then, one that eluded me for some time, the Beatles Rock Band. Me and my friend played this back in the day. Yeah, it was quite fun just because I was pressing the buttons, he was strumming the guitar. We managed to cheese some songs on expert mode doing that. Yeah, it was a fun time. I like the Beatles sometimes. I'm not like going to pretend I'm the biggest Beatles fan in the world, but I do like them. So I guess having a dedicated Rock Band disc to, you know, dedicated to their songs, can't complain about that. Next game I actually bought just because it began with a Q. There was a point where I wanted every single letter of the alphabet in the collection, and I did only have like Quake 4, and I was like, I want to beef it up just a little bit, so Quantum Theory did the trick. I've heard middling things about it. I've heard it's kind of just like the poor man's Gears of War, but to be fair, I've not actually played Gears of War, so I'm gonna play Gears of War over Quantum Theory, but let's just say it's the best game on the planet, and I love Gears of War. Like, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I've just not played it, so I can't give an honest opinion. I have heard very positive things. If I can't get enough of a fix from Gears of War 1, 2, 3, Judgment 4, I think a fifth one even exists now, then Quantum Theory will be next in the list. Yeah, next game I got in a bundle, sold everything else, so it was free, Pirates of the Caribbean. It was a very nice condition copy as well, manual included, so it stayed in the collection. And got Omerta, City of Gangsters. Again, this one was rotting away in the CEX in my local one for ages, but they finally dropped it to a reasonable price, about £6 I picked it up at, because yeah, this one is relatively obscure. I don't know if it'll ever climb up again, because it kind of dropped back down. But it's not my type of game normally, but it just looked interesting enough where I was like, I kind of have to pick it up. It's just obscure. Then, next game right here, Midnight Club Los Angeles. In terms of this one, yeah, I wanted to get the complete version, but ultimately the people were always charging more for it, and I didn't really care that much. I think I found this in a charity shop really cheap, which is why I was quite happy to settle on this version of it. I think it was only £1 or so. I think I got it in the bundle of like some games that I ended up trading into CEX that very same day, so yeah, gotta keep that one for free, which is nice. To be fair, a lot of these I've actually gotten for free, which is nice to think about, actually. I say that, however, this one I did buy off eBay, and it is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I'm glad I bought this one when I did, actually, because I paid like £9 all in, including the manual and that. It's just one, I can never find it in CEX, and now that there's a copy that's been set in my CEX pretty much since I bought this, it's now almost double to the price of like £18 or so. These Ultimate Alliance games have went up a fair bit. Only on the 360, I don't know about the PS3 to be fair. But there are standard like definition versions on the Wii and such, and I think it might even be on PS2. Or at least the original is, at least that one is, which is next in the list. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, yes. I do quite enjoy like Marvel games. I wanted the subset of like all Spider-Man games, which on the 360 I already had, but the Ultimate Alliance games did elude me because they're kind of Spider-Man games, but they're more overall Marvel. And I did really enjoy Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, so I do want to check out 1 and 2 at some point. To be fair, it won't be anytime soon. I'm thinking maybe when my son's older, like he's 2 in a week. When he's a few years older, like I think there'll be some good games to play together. So this game here, Let's Cheer, I did get in a bundle from the Mrs. Ant, actually. She sold the 360 to me for £20. And I sold on the stuff that I already had and kept the games that I didn't have, and Let's Cheer was indeed one of those. So if I'm feeling rather spontaneous and want to, start cheerleading, I think that's the way to do it. Lego Movie, the video game, again, same bundle as the, the Midnight Club. So I'm not really big in the Lego games, I don't care for them. And I'll be honest, I probably won't ever play them. It's more so if, my son in the future is like, oh, I want to play a Harry Potter game or something, because, that's what's kind of next. These were in the same bundle as the Pirates of the Caribbean, but yeah, I get the Lego games because they do hold a little bit of value, and they're not like the expensive games or anything like that. And to be fair, they are harmless, like they're not bad games or anything, so I'm happy to house them in the collection. But yeah, years 1 to 4, and then years 5 to 7. I think they did do a collection of these as well on modern platforms, so you can still purchase your Harry Potter Lego games. But yeah, I've never been too big into Harry Potter, I don't really care for it, to be perfectly honest. And then the next game got in that same bundle as Let's Cheer. It was like £20 for the lot, and this was free at the end of it. This was one that I always wanted to pick up, I just never did. And I think it did get an Xbox One version, so I kind of held off. But then I'd say I prefer the 360, so I've just been collecting everything on that system. To be fair, I don't really get Xbox One or Series X physicals anymore, I just don't see much point. I much prefer just getting it on PlayStation now. But yeah, a bit about that. Here we have Infernal. Again, this one just looked really obscure. It was cheap, didn't have it, had the manual, so it came home with me. Again, did buy it with voucher, so it's not like it ran me any actual real life money. But yeah, just one that I want to try out someday. Then this one here, out of charity shop, FIFA 17. This is one of the more obscure ones since it came out later in the 360's lifespan. It's got the instruction like pamphlet. Don't think these later ones ever really did have manuals or anything like that. I'm not a huge FIFA guy. I don't mind FIFA. I don't mind playing it sometimes with pals, but that's as far as it goes really. I'll never go out my way to buy a FIFA game. Then this next one here, Fear Files. This is one that I was looking for quite some time just because I have Fear 1 to 3. I did buy this one with voucher as well, so I found it in my local CEX. It was in really nice shape, manual included. Again, this one feels like it came out of the shrink wrap the other day. I say this, but I do clean every single game I get before it goes on the shelf. So you will see some with CEX stickers now on it just because they've not been processed, I suppose, and added to the collection. Into the last few now. Got Dance Central 3 and Dance Central 2. Again, these came in that bundle with the 360 bundle that I got from the Mrs. Ant. So it was Just Dance 2 and 3, £20. I traded all that in. I got a fair bit. I think I'm more than double my money with that one, to be perfectly honest. There was one controller that had pen all over it that took me some time to clean, but I eventually managed to trade that in for almost a tenner as well, so yeah, free games. Then this one here, Cabela's Alaskan Adventures. Again, these games are quite obscure, you don't see them often, so whenever I see a new one it's fairly priced. I think this one was like £4 at the time. I'm going to pick it up because I don't have it in the collection. 360 is one of those systems where I will almost buy anything for. I'm quite specific, especially with things like PlayStation 2. I'm very specific in what I get for that system just because I don't play it a lot and I'm not too nostalgically tied to it. There are games that I do have nostalgia for, but I grew up like GameCube and that, so I'm much rather have on like that platform. But yeah, older Nintendo consoles I'll basically buy anything for, same like Sega. But as it progresses, I'm much more selective in what I purchase. Next game here is Blood Bowl. Again, this gives me like a Mutant League Football vibes. It's that type of game. Again, it is pretty obscure. It's not worth a whole lot. £2, bought it with voucher. What can you do? This next game as well. This is the infamous game where you can mash a button a few times and get 1,000 gamer score. I have yet to actually do that. I've just not done it yet. And then yeah, just the Avatar disc. Really live action Netflix show. The missus is watching that as I'm filming, so yeah, so far I've seen bits and pieces. It seems alright. It's pretty harmless. And then of course we do have the Alien Breed trilogy here. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good, especially with the 360 online store going down. This is the way to get the games and play them because the whole trilogy is on disc right here. Top down like isometric. They're not isometric actually, but you can kind of change the view. But yeah, they're really solid games. So there are a few others that I did forget to grab, so just give me one moment and I'll go through those too. Alright, so there was 3 more games that I did have propped out on the shelf that I completely forgot about. So in that same bundle is the Pirates of the Caribbean lot. I think there were some other games in there. I'm having a look at the pile. Pirates of the Caribbean, like Lego Harry Potter and that. They did also have Tomb Raider Anniversary. This one did have some good CEX credit tied against to it, but I didn't have it yet and it was complete in good condition. So it had to be added to the collection. But yeah, Tomb Raider Anniversary, I believe this is kind of a remake or a reimagining of the original game. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know much about it. I'm not a huge Tomb Raider guy, to be perfectly honest. And then the last couple of games here, Cars Race-O-Rama, I ended up getting this at the charity shop. They wanted full asking price. I managed to talk them down eventually because the disc was in poor condition, and I have taken some measures to try and restore it. You'll see here, there is a lot of surface scratching. This game does still work, however. I think if you were to give this to CEX, I think they would take it on a good day. But yeah, there's just quite a lot of surface scratch on this one. It was really mucky as well, so it was kind of hard to tell underneath like the dirt if that was going to be a salvageable disc, so I managed to get it really cheap. But that was after like months of trying to convince them, because I would just go in and be like, come on, it's like, and they even told me at one point they'll bin it and then it's back on the shelf, so morals are not there. And then of course Cars got that in the 360 bundle from the Mrs. Auntie, and unfortunately this one doesn't work, so I'm kind of on the hunt for a disc only of this game. But yeah, this one is well and truly destroyed, so it's just on the shelf. There's, you know, I don't want to bin it, I don't have the game, and then if I were to get the game in the future, find the disc only for it, I've not done it myself any favours. But yeah, that is the video right there, and that is my Xbox 360 collection update. I think I'll do these every so often. The last video was in May of last year. I do buy for the system quite regularly, even still to this day, although it has definitely slowed down in recent years because I've got so many games on the platform, and it takes up a lot of precious space, and for a lot of games that are not necessarily the best, it's not something I want to downsize, so I'll enjoy having this collection of 360 titles. So unless I expand space or get rid of other bits to eventually go for a full set, it's on the cards, I'm not going to rule it out, but it would also mean I have to spend £60 on a shitty horse game that I don't want. So we'll see. Needs are a must when you're doing this kind of collecting. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please do like, share and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. Very close to the 1,100 subscriber mark. And again, considering only a few weeks ago I hit 1k, the growth's been tremendous, and I very much appreciate everyone tuning in, watching and subscribing. So yeah, share it with your friends, share it with people you might think are interested in the subject matter of just game collecting, Xbox 360 in general, CEX hunts, you name it. I'll put a link in the description for the original Xbox 360 collection so you can see more of my thoughts on the collection that is behind me. So yeah, have a good one folks, thanks for watching and goodbye.